Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another Scaring Myself Shitless Spooky Season edition of Wade Watches. I'm Wade, and for today's SMS review, I'm going to be reviewing Candyman 2021, directed by Nia DaCosta and starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Tiana Paris, Coleman Domingo, and what's that dude's name who plays the brother? I forget. I'm blanking on that gentleman's name, but anyway, this is the sequel slash reboot to the Candyman franchise, and like the 2018 Halloween reboot, the 2021 Candyman reboot also retcons all of the subsequent sequels to the original 1992 Candyman and acts as the true sequel to that original film. So canonically now, I guess there's Candyman 1992 and Candyman 2021. Just like I guess like on canonically the current timeline, there's Halloween 1978, Halloween 2018, and all those other Halloween sequels. So it doesn't takes a similar approach. Horror, they're doing that a lot in horror these days. That's no secret. But let me just say that believe what you want to believe, but I know I saw this when it came out in theaters originally, and I fell in love with it right away. I thought it was a refreshing take on this character. I liked them. I liked how they naturally were able to bring this character into modern times and tie his origin, which what that this these things were already a part of it in the 1992 one, but I like how they were further able to explore the themes of racial trauma, gentrification, systemic racism, all that good stuff that was in the original 90s movie in a more explicit way in the 2021 reboot that, in my opinion, didn't really feel preachy at all. They didn't stop the movie to deliver a sermon. It tied into the story in an organic way, and that opinion still holds up upon a rewatch. I still really, really loved Candyman 2021. And again, me myself personally, I was not bothered by it being more explicit with those themes of racial trauma like some folks are. And you do you, but for me, it makes sense for the character. Like even in that original 90s one, which, yeah, I guess it was a little bit more subtle. I mean, the character was a white woman after all, so they weren't gonna go. I'm just being honest. They weren't gonna go too deep into it, but they did explain that Candyman was the son of a freed slave, and that what was done to him was done in part because of this. But I guess to be fair, and they even talked about like gentrification and the ghetto of Cabrini Green, but they weren't like as unbridled and as like explicit as this 2021 reboot, but they still pretty really went into it. So I don't see what the problem is, but y'all out there who think that this movie is absolute garbage because there is somewhat of a topical political message in there, that's your prerogative. But for me, it makes sense for the character. I like how this film really expands on the Candyman lore. It goes beyond just saying his name 5 times in the mirror. They expand on it. They do something really neat here. They tie it all in a very refreshing way. And yeah, I absolutely love this movie. It's a beautiful looking horror film as well. It's hauntingly beautiful, which makes sense because the protagonists are artists. They're part of the Chicago art scene, and I like how the use of like hand puppets and marionettes and silhouettes and all that good stuff. Well, not marionettes, but like silhouette puppets and all that good stuff here. Shadow puppets, or not shadow puppets. I think I had it right. Silhouettes. I'm not huge into puppetry, so my apologies. But yeah, I still really, really love this movie, and it still holds up 4 years later. However, the one exception to that is the ending. I do really feel like this movie kind of had like a rushed climax slash conclusion. Initially, when it begins to let you know where it's going and how it's going to end and what's going to happen to these characters, I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's badass, that's interesting. But it didn't quite stick the landing with the way that it wrapped up. There's kind of a little minor twist that kind of felt like forced and came out of nowhere. And like just that whole climax was just a little bit anticlimactic. But I will say the very, very ending, and even the subsequent credits that tie everything together save the ending from being like just a letdown, from being completely underwhelming in comparison to the rest of the film. Like something they do at the very, very end was like, okay, I really, really like that. That saved this ending from just being a mediocre ending. Like I still love the rest of the film, but that ending was saved from being mediocre. But nonetheless, I just felt like that climax could have been handled a little bit better because something just comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, wait, what are you doing? You know, so there's that as well. But that is not enough to make me even remotely dislike this film. This is one of my all-time favorite horror films, and it is right up there with Get Out in terms of black-led horror films and black created horror films. This was directed by Nia DaCosta and of course produced by Jordan Peele, and I rank it right up there with Get Out. So wrapping it up, I'm going to go ahead and give Candyman 2021 a 9.5 out of 10. I absolutely love this movie. Had it not been for that thing that happens near the end, it would have been as great as the original, but I still absolutely love what they did with the reboot. It is a worthy successor to the original film, and again, feel free to think what you want, but I was not bothered by the explorations of black trauma and systemic racism, and in fact, I think that's one of the things that enhances this movie for me. So this has been another scaring myself shitless edition of Wade Watches. Let me just say, I really do wish I could do like a 31 on 31 thing, but I'm in film school now, don't have the time. I'll push out as many more of these as I can before we get to Halloween, and I look forward to seeing you all next time with more spooky season goodness. Namaste.